Succulents are amazing, but let's be honest, not everyone wants a plant that suddenly turns into a yard-sized monster. So today, we're looking at the tiny legends of the succulent world, the ones that stay cute, compact, and totally manageable forever. These little guys fit anywhere, your desk, your windowsill, even that weird empty corner you've been pretending isn't there. And the best part? They don't ask for much. A little light, a little water, and they're good to go. Whether you're a busy person, a first-time plant parent, or someone with zero patience for things that grow out of control, these mini succulents have your back. Let's dive into the 12 best options that stay small, stay beautiful, and stay easy, pretty much everything we want in a plant. Fenestraria Aurantiaca, better known as baby toes, is one of those tiny succulents that somehow steals all the attention without taking up any real space. It naturally stays under 3 inches tall, which makes it perfect for small shelves or crowded plant corners where nothing else fits. It loves bright, indirect light and just a light watering every few weeks, thanks to those thick, water-storing leaves that mimic desert survival tactics. What makes it even cooler is how those little toes have translucent windows on top, allowing sunlight to pass through like a natural solar panel system. And when it's happy, it surprises you with bright yellow daisy-like flowers that look way too big for such a tiny plant, giving it a fun, quirky charm that makes it feel almost alive. Ghost plant, or Graptopetalum paraguayans, is one of those succulents that stays compact but still manages to look effortlessly cool with its soft pastel leaves that shift between blue, pink, and silvery gray depending on the light. It usually stays around 6 inches tall, making it perfect for small pots, sunny windowsills, or mixed succulent arrangements. This plant thrives in bright light and only needs watering every 2 to 3 weeks, since its thick rosette leaves store plenty of moisture. What makes it even more lovable is how easily it propagates. One leaf can fall off, touch soil, and start growing a whole new plant like it's no big deal. And unlike many delicate succulents, the ghost plant actually becomes more colorful when a little stressed, turning your tiny space into a miniature art piece with almost no effort. Jewel leaf plant, often represented by small peperomia varieties, is one of those tiny succulents that earns its spot by staying compact while bringing big personality. Most types stay under 8 inches tall, which makes them ideal for desks, bedside tables, or any space where you want something pretty but low maintenance. They prefer bright, indirect light and only need watering when the soil fully dries out, thanks to their thick, semi-succulent leaves that store moisture like little reservoirs. What makes them really stand out is the leaf texture, striped, quilted, velvety, or glossy, creating the kind of detail you'd expect from an expensive houseplant even though it's incredibly easy to care for. And a fun fact, many jewel leaf peperomias are natural air purifiers, quietly cleaning your space while staying small and stunning year-round. Lithops, often called living stones, are the ultimate tiny succulents because they literally stay just 1 inch tall and blend right into the soil like little pebbles. They thrive in bright light and need almost no water, sometimes just a drink every month or two, since their paired leaves store a huge amount of moisture to mimic survival in harsh African deserts. What makes them so fascinating is their built-in window on top, which lets sunlight pass down through the leaf to help them photosynthesize even when buried. And the best part? When fall arrives, these tiny stone look-alikes burst into big, daisy-like flowers that seem way too dramatic for such small plants, turning a miniature pot into a surprising little show. Echeveria Topsy Turvy is one of those compact succulents that looks sculpted rather than grown, staying around 6 to 8 inches tall with its signature upward curving, spoon-shaped leaves that twist slightly at the tips. It loves bright, direct light and only needs watering every couple of weeks, thanks to its thick leaves that store plenty of moisture for dry spells. What really makes it stand out is how the cooler the temperature gets, the more dramatic its blue-gray color becomes, giving it a bold, almost metallic look in a small space. And when it blooms, it sends out arching stems topped with orange or coral bell-shaped flowers that look way too vibrant for such a compact plant, making it a tiny succulent with a big personality. Lithops Julii is another tiny powerhouse in the living stone family, staying just under 1 inch tall and blending into the soil with its marbled, stone-like patterns that look almost hand-painted. It thrives in bright, direct sun and needs barely any water, usually just a tiny drink every few weeks, because its thick, fused leaves act like water tanks designed for survival in the driest parts of southern Africa. The coolest thing about Lithops Julii is the split down the middle, which isn't just for looks. That groove allows light to travel deep into the plant so it can photosynthesize even when mostly buried. And when fall rolls around, it surprises you with a crisp white or pale yellow flower that pops right out of the center, making this tiny stone suddenly look alive in the most unexpected way. Lithops Karasmontana is one of the most convincing living stone succulents, staying barely an inch tall and sporting those cracked, camouflaged patterns that help it disappear into rocky soil in its native Namibia. It thrives in bright, direct sunlight and needs almost no watering, maybe once a month during growing season, because its two thick leaf halves are built to store enough moisture to handle long droughts. What makes this variety especially fascinating is how its patterns actually mimic the exact stones in its environment, a survival trick that keeps it safe from hungry animals. And just when you think it's nothing more than a little pebble, it pushes out a bright white daisy-like flower in fall, turning this tiny stone look-alike into a miniature, living surprise. Haworthia Cooperi is one of the cutest small succulents you can own, staying around 2 to 3 inches tall with those plump, glassy leaves that look almost like little water balloons. It thrives in bright, indirect light and only needs watering every couple of weeks, since its translucent leaf tips act like natural skylights that help it capture sunlight without needing harsh, direct rays. The really cool thing about this plant is how those clear windows on top let you actually see the inner structure of the leaf, giving it a gemstone-like glow when the sun hits just right. And because it grows slowly and stays compact, it's perfect for tiny pots, desk setups, or anywhere you want a plant that looks rare and exotic without demanding any special care. Sunrise succulent, often known as Anacampseros rufescens, stays beautifully compact at just 3 to 5 inches tall, making it perfect for tight spaces or small decorative pots. It loves bright, indirect light, though a little morning sun brings out its best colors, and only needs watering every 10 to 14 days thanks to its thick, drought-tolerant leaves. What makes this tiny succulent really stand out is its shifting colors. Green at the base, fading into purple, pink, and orange tones that look like a miniature sunrise happening right in your pot. And when it's happy, it sends up small, delicate pink flowers on thin stems that rise above the rosette, giving this tiny plant an unexpectedly elegant look with almost zero effort. Titanopsis Calcarea is one of the most underrated tiny succulents, staying just 1 to 2 inches tall and blending perfectly into gravel with its bumpy, textured leaves that look almost like bits of limestone. It thrives in bright light and needs very little water, usually just a light drink every couple of weeks, because its thick, warty leaf tips are designed to store moisture and reflect harsh desert sunlight. What makes it especially cool is how those leaf bumps act like natural camouflage, helping it avoid being eaten in the wild by mimicking the exact rocks around it. And when fall arrives, this little stone bursts into bright yellow daisy-like flowers that look way too bold for such a tiny, rugged plant, turning a small pot into a surprising mini desert display. Baby toes, another form of Fenestraria, is one of those tiny succulents that never outgrows its cute, compact shape, usually staying under 3 inches tall with those chubby, upright leaves that really do look like little toes. It thrives in bright, indirect light and only needs watering every few weeks because each leaf is basically a built-in water tank designed for extreme desert survival. The coolest thing about baby toes is the translucent windows on top of each leaf. Those aren't just for show, they actually let sunlight pass deep into the plant so it can photosynthesize even when half buried in sand. And when it's really thriving, it pops out big, daisy-like flowers in white or yellow that look hilariously oversized for such a tiny plant, giving this miniature succulent a fun, unexpected burst of personality. Haworthia Pygmaea is the definition of a tiny showstopper, staying just 1 to 2 inches tall with those thick, triangular leaves that look like they're carved from smoky green glass. It thrives in bright, indirect light and only needs watering every couple of weeks, since each leaf stores moisture and helps the plant handle long dry spells without complaining. What makes it especially eye-catching are the translucent streaks and window-like patterns on top, allowing sunlight to pass through and giving the plant a soft, glowing look when the light hits just right. And because it grows slowly and stays compact its whole life, it's perfect for small pots, desk setups, or collectors who want something rare looking without needing complicated care. And that wraps up our list of the 12 succulents that stay small forever, the perfect little plants for anyone who wants beauty without the chaos of fast-growing giants. These tiny species may be small, but they bring a ton of personality, color, and charm to any space, whether it's your office desk, a tiny apartment shelf, or a sunny windowsill you've been wanting to fill. If you enjoyed discovering these miniature gems and want more plant guides, tips, and easy care ideas, make sure to hit subscribe, Tap that like button, and drop a comment telling me which one you're adding to your collection next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.